All production at the plant I know well. Modernization at our plant was practically not carried out, and after the accession we had the opportunity to update the production equipment. I was given the task of finding and buying a labeling machine for the packing and shipping area. Labeling machine is a type of pharmaceutical packaging equipment, which is used to stick labels in automatic and semi-automatic mode on pharmaceutical and medicinal products. The equipment had to apply at least 50 labels per minute. I have a lot of acquaintances in the production sector. The first thing I did was to ask them for advice on finding automatic equipment for self-adhesive bottle labels. I understood that the field of production of my colleagues is different from that of our company, that they could recommend me good manufacturers of equipment whom I could turn to for help in choosing a machine. There are a lot of nuances in the production of medicinal products that need to be taken into account at all stages, controlled by various analytical equipment, including the application of labels. My colleagues recommended me 2 manufacturers in Germany. I found their data on the internet and sent them an email asking to select equipment according to my requirements. 2 days later I received a reply from one company saying that they had a labeling machine with the specifications given, but it was only suitable for penicillin bottles. Another company refused to work with us, as they don't work with CIS countries. Following the same advice of colleagues, I did not contact Chinese manufacturers directly. My acquaintances told me that equipment manufacturers from China often deliver incomplete equipment, citing inaccurate information about the required parameters of the machine. I could not take that risk, so I decided to choose a Russian-speaking reseller to search for automatic equipment for labeling bottles. I needed a professional who had been working for a long time in the field of supplying pharmaceutical equipment and had positive customer feedback. I started the search for a specialist on the internet. I chose 3 of the most presentable companies. As a criterion, I looked at the time the company has been on the equipment supply market, the company's website, the terms of delivery of the machine. I called to all the companies by phone in order to be sure of the manager's professionalism. The specialist of one company said to wait for 5 minutes, but never listened to me. I didn't like this attitude to the customer. The manager of another company talked to me politely, asked questions about the necessary performance equipment, terms of production. 5 days later I got 10 variants of various labeling machines from them, and an offer to make a choice by myself. I realized that they had no professional approach, and would not help me in my decision to find equipment for labeling. The last, third option of a middleman from Moscow turned out to be good for me. The manager, a man, talked to me like a professional. He asked me specific questions about production capacity, the material of the bottles used, the control method. He chose automatic equipment for attaching self-adhesive labels to plastic bottles, which I was able to quickly negotiate with the company management. The machine was acceptable in terms of features and price. Within a week we concluded a contract for the supply of equipment. The manager reported the degree of readiness of the machine 2 weeks in advance. The machine was delivered within the scheduled time. After installation and adjustment of the equipment, we were able to evaluate its quality. 2 rolls of self-adhesive labels for double-sided feeding on flat plastic bottles. The bottles are moved on a conveyor the entire labeling process. A device for brushing the labels flat for better adhesion is made of foam rubber. A button for an emergency stop the machine. The capacity is up to 60 bottles per minute. We were satisfied with the automatic machine for attaching self-adhesive labels to plastic bottles, as recommended and supplied by the manager of this company. I realized that I had made the right choice of an expert to supply the equipment. Qualified advice is essential in choosing any purchase. The project is sure to be successful if this advice was received from a professional.